Hey guys, it's Mr. Wolf, and I'm going to be going over sex-linked inheritance. So before we dig in, let's just look at this word, sex-linked inheritance. So when we've been talking about sex-linked things before, we've been talking about sex chromosomes, and inheritance is talking about passing down traits from parents to offspring. So when I read this word, I could say, okay, it looks like I'm going to be focusing on genes that are on my sex chromosomes and how those traits are passed down from parents to offspring. So what I want you guys to do is look at these two images and see what do you see in the circles. All right? Most of you guys probably see the number 8 and the number 45, but if you are colorblind, you would not be able to see those numbers. Instead, you would just see circles with a bunch of dots. So if you have color blindness, it's really difficult or you really can't differentiate between certain types of colors. The most common is differentiating between red and green. Now, the interesting thing about color blindness is it's inherited, so it's caused by a gene, but unlike some other types of disorders or diseases, for instance, like cystic fibrosis, where you see it in 50% of males and 50% of females, for color blindness, about 1 in every 20 males has color blindness. However, only about 1 in 200 females has color blindness. So why do we see this disparity? Well, a lot has to do with what's on our sex chromosomes. So before we get to sex chromosomes, let's just focus on our normal chromosomes, our autosomes. So let's just say that this is like chromosome 6 right here, right? One's from Anna, the other one's from Christoph, right? Anna gives one allele, passes one allele down to the offspring. Christoph passes down the other allele, right? 2 alleles for one trait. All right. But if we're talking about sex chromosomes, right, XX if you're a female, XY if you're a male, notice that the Y is actually a really stubby, it's a short chromosome. And so even though it has some alleles for determining certain characteristics about an individual's sex, there's some other characteristics, like for instance, maybe just like photoreceptors in the eyes, or some blood type of, like some factors that have to do with your blood, just normal factors, right, are also on this chromosome right here that don't have to deal with sex. But also, since our X chromosome is so much bigger, it's going to have alleles that the Y chromosome just doesn't have. Right? And it's because we have this disparity, because the Y chromosome just doesn't have certain alleles, this is what's going to cause our disparity between color blindness, the fact that more males have color blindness compared to females.